All right, guys, we're going to do some examples of multiplying with exponents. So as you can see in our first example here, we have the same base, which is great. That means we can use our properties. The 1/2 on the left doesn't have an exponent, so we're going to add that exponent of 1. And now we have a situation where we have multiplication of like bases. So if you look back to your notes, we know that if we have multiplication of the same base, we can take those exponents and we can add them. So here we'll have 1/2 to the first power plus the third power. Well, we all know that we can simplify this, and it'll simply give us 1/2 to the, well, 1 plus 3 is 4, so 1/2 to the fourth power. Looking at the next example, this might look a little confusing because it's like, we have our x's as our base. But our rule is if the base is the same, we can use our exponent property of adding the exponents when we multiply. So even though it's a variable, the base is the same. We have x as the base in both of these terms. So we're going to multiply. And when we multiply with exponents, we add them. So 3 plus 5. Again, we know this. We'll have x to the 8th power. The next one here, this is interesting because this has actually two different possibilities. We can look at this and say, well, wait, raising to the 0th power means something special. Raising to the 0th power really always gives us a value of 1. So we could just right away replace this entire term with 1 and think of it as 4 to the 5th times 1, and we would get 4 to the 5th. Alternatively, we can use our property of adding the exponents. We have the same base of 4, so we'll keep our base of 4 and 5 plus 0 as our exponents. Well, once again, we know this, and that would give us 5. So our final answer here would be 4 to the 5th. When we look at the next one, it looks a little more complex. So we're going to break it down. Remember, our exponent properties only work if we have like bases. So here I see one base of x and another base of y. So let me switch my color here. I'll look at my x's and my y's separately. Oops. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to break this out into my x's together and then my y's. So my x terms, if I look at those, I have x to the 3rd and x to the 5th. And again, when we're multiplying like bases, we add the exponent. If I then look at my y terms, I have y to the 4th and y to the 2nd. So this is x to the 3 plus 5 times y to the 4 plus 2. When I go to simplify this, since now I have my like bases together, I can add 3 and 5 and get x to the 8th. I can add 4 and 2 and get y to the 6th. Now the reason that I don't have a symbol here in the middle for multiplication is that we don't need one. When you multiply variables, you don't need to show the multiplication. It's implied. You can just show x, y. If you want to put the dot there for the dot product, that's fine, but you certainly don't need it.